Alright, we're back on live chart and we're gonna be looking through the winter 2024 anime. To start us off, we have one that's been hyped up for I think the past few years, which is Solo Leveling. And I haven't been following this at all, so I don't know anything about it. I just remember that there was drama that they changed the main character from having a Korean name to a Japanese name, because it is based off a Korean manhwa. Okay, but let's read the synopsis, because I have no clue what this is about. It's been over a decade since the sudden appearance of the gates, the paths that connect our world with a different dimension. Since then, certain humans have awakened to supernatural powers. We call these individuals hunters. Hunters make their living by using their powers to conquer dragons inside the gates. In this world of tough customers, the low-ranked hunter Jinwoo Sung. Okay, so they didn't turn him Japanese? Anyways, Jinwoo Sung is known as the weakest hunter of all mankind. One day, Jinwoo gets fatally injured when he runs into high-ranked double dungeons hidden within a low-ranked dungeon. Just then, a mysterious quest window appears in front of him. On the verge of death, Jinwoo decides to accept the quest and starts leveling up, while others aren't. So, in the past videos I've looked through the seasonal anime, I've shit-talked so many anime that sound exactly like this. And I'm just gonna assume that it's gonna be better than those because of how popular it is, but the synopsis really makes it sound like another one of those generic fantasy shows. I might give this one a chance just because of all the hype that's around it, but this synopsis really doesn't interest me at all, to be honest. The next few are season 2s of anime that I've basically never heard of, and we're already like 2 minutes into the video and we have our first Isekai with an egregiously long title too. My instant death ability is so overpowered, no one in this other world stands a chance against me. Oh my god. I know I complain about this every single video, but really? Do this many people want to watch this? I guess we can't judge a book by its cover, so let's read the synopsis. Awakening to absolute chaos in Kamaj, while on a school trip, Yogiri Takato discovers that everyone in his class has been transported to another world. He somehow managed to sleep through the entire ordeal himself, missing out on the gift. Powers bestowed upon the others by a mysterious sage who appeared to transport them. Even worse, he and another classmate were ruthlessly abandoned by their friends, left as bait to distract a nearby dragon. Although not terribly bothered by the thought of dying, he reluctantly decides to protect his lone companion. After all, a lowly level 1000 monster doesn't stand a chance against his secret power to invoke instant death with a single thought. If he can stay awake long enough to bother using it, that is. I'm just gonna be straight and simple, I'm not watching this. Is there like actually a big fan base of people who want to watch this, and I'm just like the odd one out? But to balance out that fantasy isekai, we have another fantasy. Not an isekai, but it honestly looks exactly the same. Banished from the hero's party, so I decided to live a quiet life in the country. Second. I don't know what the second is for. Okay, so this is a season 2, and I'm gonna skip over all the season 2s. I had a look at it. It didn't say anything about it being a season 2 on here, so I had to check Mao, which told me it was a season 2, so we're gonna be skipping over that. Thank God. And then our third new anime of the season is an ecchi anime. Chained Soldier. 2 supernatural forces appeared simultaneously on Earth. Entrances to another dimension known as Mato and Peaches. Resources that give unique abilities to women. From the Mato come Yomotsushuki, dangerous monsters that leave destruction in their wake. The government's anti-demon corps stands against these creatures, employing women empowered by Peaches to face the monstrous threat. Yuki Wakuda watches these forces clash from a distance, but when he unexpectedly runs afoul of a Yomotsushuki, he's rescued by Kyoka Uzen, the chief of the 7th unit of the anti-demon corps, and she sees something in him that could turn the tide of the monster incursion. Yuki holds the power to make Peaches more effective, but he'll have to become Kyoka's willing slave to join the fight against the Yomotsushuki and save the world. So I guess this is just a fantasy ecchi for people who want a Dami Mommy. I don't know, if you're into that, you'll probably like this show, but I don't know what other demographic will like it, to be honest. Next up, the wrong way to use healing magic. Now, if you want to see actual wrong way to use healing magic, go watch Redo of Healer. But let's see what this one's about. An ordinary walk home from school turns into an epic journey for Usato, after suddenly being dropped into another world with 2 fellow students. So before I keep reading, this doesn't say isekai, in the tags, but the very first sentence we read, or I guess the second one, literally is the plot of an isekai, so they kind of baited us with that one by lying. But anyways, Usato learns he was summoned there by accident, but things turn around when he discovers a unique altitude for healing magic. Now he trains beyond human limits, using his self-healing abilities to gain absurd strength and unrivaled stamina. Yeah, like the other ones, there's no way in hell I'm watching this. Like I said before, if you want to watch a show about healing magic, go watch Redo of Healer. Next up we have is Delicious in Dungeon. Now when I looked at this earlier, I was just gonna be like, there's no way I'm gonna watch this. Every single food isekai that I've seen has been a snooze fest, but the one thing that I did notice was it's done by Trigger, which, if you don't know, I mean, how could you not know Trigger and their amazing works? But let's read the synopsis. When a young adventurer, Laios, and his company are attacked and soundly thrashed by a dragon deep in the dungeon, the party loses all its money and provisions, and a member. They're eager to go back and save her, but there's just one problem. If they set out with no food, or coin to speak of, they're sure to starve on the way. But Laios comes up with a brilliant idea. Slimes, basilisks, and even the dragons. None of them are safe from the appetites of these dungeon-crawling gourmands. So I guess this one isn't too similar to the other fantasy isekai shows, because I guess this one is just gonna be pretty goofy, but still, I don't think I want to watch this, because on the surface, it sounds like it could be a fun concept, but how do you continue this for 24 episodes? It's a 2-core anime, so how do you continue something this simple for 24 episodes? Okay, we got another ecchi harem, Tales of the Wedding Rings. Sato is a high school boy in love with his best friend, Hime, and an earthly beauty from another realm. So when she moves back to her home world to get married, Sato doesn't think twice. He follows her and crashes the wedding. Then after a kiss from Hime, he suddenly becomes the new groom. But here, Hime is a ring princess, and her husband is destined to be the ring king, a hero of immense power. At the beginning, I'm like, okay, this is fine. This could be entertaining, maybe. And then the last like 2 sentences just started adding a bunch of mumbo jumbo that I honestly don't really want to get into. But we've actually arrived at our first non-fantasy, so let's hope this one is good. Hokkaido gals are super adorable. What a nice, fun title. This can't be bad, right? Snowflakes aren't the only thing dropping in Hokkaido, so are Jaws. Thanks to the super adorable gals who are turning the icy north into a hotbed of fashion and fun. Brace yourselves for a winter storm of laughs, love, and killer outfits, as these gals prove that being cute is an all-season affair. Here, Frostbite meets Fashionista. You know what? I think that's our best synopsis so far. The synopsis is just saying that, hey, this anime has cute girls, come watch cute girls. That's something that I respect. But how good could cute girls be for 12 whole episodes? Next one, oh my god, not again. Another Villainess anime. So if you haven't seen my 3, I don't know how many there's been, but my past few seasonal anime reviews, there's always been an anime with Villainess in the title, and oh my god, I'm just seeing the synopsis right now. They all have an otome RPG, and it's always like a female main character, and they're always dressed in red, and I'm always so confused. And I think that I found out that they have nothing to do with each other, but every single season another one comes, so I get more confused every single season. And right now I'm at like the peak of my confusion because they're still coming. Like, I'm convinced they're making these just to make me confused, but maybe this could be good. Well, maybe not with the title being Villainess level 99. I may be the hidden boss, but I'm not the demon lord. I don't want to do this, man. I'm so done. Yumelia Dolkness is your run-of-the-mill villainess in an otome RPG. Put emphasis on run-of-the-mill because we get these every fucking season, except for the fact that she's also secretly the overpowered hidden boss. But Yumelia wasn't always Yumelia. Sorry, Yumiella. You see, in her past life, she was nothing more than an introverted college student and a devout gamer. So when she realizes that she's been reincarnated as a hidden boss, she's determined to steer clear of the protagonist and avoid her demise at their hands. All she wants is a nice quiet life. Too bad when her gamer instincts kick in, Yumiella can't just ignore her awesome stats. A girl's gotta grind. Okay, you know what? I'm just not gonna read the rest of that because I think we all get the point. The foolish angel dances with the devil. Okay, we have our second comedy and romance, sorta. It has a romantic subtext, which I don't think we've seen an actual romance so far. It's always been romantic subtext. Let's see what this one's about. Determined to protect his demon world from heavenly angels, demon Matsutora Akutsu heads to Earth in search of a charismatic human to rally his kin. Masquerading as a high schooler for his recruitment mission, he's captivated by the lovely Lily Amane, but he's in for a wild celestial surprise because she's his arch nemesis, an angel, and she's set on reforming his demonic ways. I feel like this is gonna be one of those anime where it's like a romance anime that people talk about for that season, and then everyone just completely forgets it exists after it's done airing. So yeah, probably not gonna be too interesting. Next one is The Unwanted Undead Adventurer. Rent Fina has hunted monsters for the last 10 years. Sadly, he's not great at his job, stuck hunting slimes and goblins for a few coins each day. His luck turns around when he finds an undiscovered path. At the path's end, he meets his demise in the maw of a legendary dragon, but he wakes up as an undead bag of bones. He sets out to achieve existential evolution and rejoin the land of the living. I've been sitting here for the past minute trying to think of anything good to say about this, but I just honestly can't think of one, so we're just gonna move on. Next up is Fluffy Paradise. Okay, this one seems like a wholesome isekai. Dead of overwork at the age 27, Midori barely had time to lament having to die that way when a god appeared before her and said, "You will reincarnate in another world and tell me whether you think humans deserve to continue existing there. In return, I shall grant you a special power." Then Midori, hoping to relive the exhaustion of a harsh life she'd lived, found herself asking to cuddle cute fluffy animals. Yeah, I think we get the point of that one too, so there's not really much use of reading the rest, but I don't know, maybe if you like cute fluffy animals and isekai, you'll probably like this, I don't know. Next up is Ishura. In a world where the Demon King has died, a host of demigods capable of felling him have inherited the world. I don't know what that means. A master fencer who can figure out how to take out their opponents with a single glance. A lancer so swift they can break the sound barrier. A wyvern rogue who fights with 3 legendary weapons at once. And an all-powerful wizard who can speak thoughts into being. An angelic assassin who deals instant death. Eager to attain the title of true hero, these champions each pursue challenges against formidable foes and spark conflicts among themselves. The battle to determine the mightiest of the mighty begins. I guess this one is probably the most interesting so far, because it's not like some loser person gains a bunch of powers or like gets transported somewhere. So maybe this could be good, I don't know. There still hasn't been one where I'm like, yes, I want to watch that. Oh my god, this next one is gonna kill me. The Strongest Tanks Labyrinth raids. A tank with a rare 9999 resistance skill got kicked out from the hero's party. You know what? To save myself and you from wasting time in your life, I'm just gonna completely skip it, because there's no way anyone wants to watch this. Comment below if you like to watch this stuff. Next up is The Weakest Tamer began a journey to pick up trash. Stars are everything, granting abilities to tamers. So when Ivy was born without one, her village took it as an ill omen. Now banished, she leads a lonely life of salvaging rubbish to survive. That is until she befriends Sora, the weak little slime, in a forest. Together, the delicate duo embarks on a heartwarming journey of survival and discovers there's more to Ivy than being starless. Okay, so there's reincarnation, but according to the synopsis, there isn't. So I don't know what's up with these tags this season, but they're marked wrong. But yeah, this anime, it could be cute, but I'm not gonna watch it. The Witch and the Beast. Okay, this one looks not generic compared to all the other ones now. So hopefully it'll be not shit. It all started with the 17 origins, whose powers were passed down by individuals who still exist around the world today. A man carrying a coffin and a girl with the eyes of a beast appear in a town. The girl was once cursed by a witch and now searches for her in order to undo the curse. Is the witch who appears before them the quarry that they've been searching for? And how can this curse be undone? The quest for revenge against an evil witch begins rolling when the beast captures the witch. This magnificent and intense dark fantasy begins now. So that's the first one that hasn't been like the same thing over and over again, I think. So maybe this could be good. I keep saying that for all of them. And the synopsis also self-proclaims itself as magnificent, so this better be good or else I'm suing the company. Next up, Dr. Elise, the royal lady with the lamp. Making up for her sins in a past life as the evil princess Elise, Aoi Takamoto dedicates her life to saving people as a doctor, but a fatal accident cuts her atonement short, and suddenly she's back to her previous life, 10 years before her death. Will her foresight and medical brilliance help her change her past ways and heal an ailing empire, or is this fate doomed to repeat itself? Last season, there was an anime basically exactly like this without the doctor part, called Tear Moon Empire, and it just sounds honestly exactly the same. But yeah, this really doesn't sound that interesting. Okay, next one is an actual romance this time. A Sign of Affection. With these hands, I want to tell you that I love you. Yuki. A deaf college student is struggling one day when an upperclassman from her school, Itsuomi, helps her out. Itsuomi isn't put off at all by her lack of hearing and interacts with her naturally. As he gradually opens up a new world to her, Yuki begins to develop feelings for Itsuomi. This begins the pure love story of Yuki, a deaf college girl, and Itsuomi, her upperclassman, who travels the world with her. I'm actually ecstatic right now, because this sounds actually good. Like, is it just me who is finally feeling relief of not just the same thing over and over again and actually something that might be interesting? I think this is the first one of the season where I'm gonna watch 100%. Finally, a good one. Not just the same fantasy bullshit. Another one that's not fantasy. We're on a streak today. Metallic Rouge, or Rogue. I don't know how you say that word. In a world where humans coexist with androids, called Neens, a group known as the Immortal Nine rises up against society, tasked with disposing of the revolters. A Neen named Rouge Red Star, aka Metal Rouge, and investigator Naomi Orthman head to Mars to track them down. But first, Rouge wants some chocolate? That's interesting, I guess. I think this is our first original series of the season, so that leads me to believe that this could probably be good. Maybe, I don't know. I think I'll give this one a chance, because the chocolate part really entices me. Next up is Gushing Over Magical Girls. This one looks interesting. It's a fantasy, but it's a lot more colorful than all the other ones. Hiragi Utena is a major fangirl of the magical girls protecting her city, so when she has a chance to become one herself, she leaps at the chance to join their Technicolor ranks. But when she transforms, she learns she isn't fated to be a daring do-gooder, but rather a villain on the side of evil. At first, she tries to quit her new gig as the leader of the local baddies, but she quickly realizes she enjoys it and is a total natural at tormenting the magical girls she loves so much. With both a bang and a whimper, Hiragi's journey as a magical girl tormenting sadist has begun. You know what? I think this one's a good one. Something that does make me a bit suspicious is the poster. Like, what's with these faces? It didn't say it was an Ecchi series, but then again, they've messed up the tags this season. But I think I might watch this one. This one's, first of all, different from all the other ones, but it's also another magical girl show, which we haven't seen since, I think, Wonder Egg Priority, which was like the beginning of 2021. Next up is Seventh Time Loop. The villainess enjoys a carefree life married to her worst enemy. Oh my god, not again. Not another villainess show. Riche Irmgard Weitzner, a duke's daughter, has a secret. She died at the age of 20 and returned to this moment 5 years prior when her engagement was called off. She has already experienced this time loop 6 times and lived out those 5 years in a different way each time. As a merchant, a doctor, a maid, and a knight, and more. Now on her 7th go around, she's determined to live to a ripe old age and spend it relaxing. But the moment she flees the castle with that decision in her heart, she runs into the infamously cruel crown prince of a rival kingdom, Arnold Hain. He happens to be the one who killed her during her life as a knight, but now he seems to have taken a bizarre liking to her and begs her to become his wife. Thus, in order to stay alive and prevent a war, Riche utilizes her previous experiences to kick off her 7th life as the bride of an enemy nation's crown prince. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna be honest, this doesn't sound that bad. I feel like this is one of those shows though that, at least for me, has an interesting synopsis, but gets boring like 4 episodes in. But I think I'll also give this one a chance. We've had 4 so far that haven't been total dog shit. Now, could this one be dog shit? Isekai Onsen Paradise. The story centers around Yoshiso Yukawa, a major hot spring fan who finds hidden springs to revitalize the economy of the local area. However, he dies after falling off a cliff and is transported to an alternate world. Thanks to an Inari deity of harvest at a small shrine nestled in the rocks, together with the Inari's attendant princess, Mayurama, he continues searching for storied hot springs, only this time in an alternate world. Along the way, he ends up naked in hot springs with a lot of furry-eared girls and elven girl. Oh my god. You know, I kind of saw that coming, but like, I don't know why that hit so hard. This might be a surprise, but I'm not watching this shit. Next is Sasaki and Peeps. Sasaki is a middle-aged office worker living in Japan. Feeling drained by the vapid corporate world, he heads to the pet shop in search of a new companion. There he finds an adorable bird named Peeps and takes him home. But Sasaki quickly learns that Peeps isn't your average bird. He's a powerful mage from another world. Together they embark on a magical adventure filled with swords and sorcery. Please save me. I'm so done. Next one, Burn the Witch, number 0.8. Dragons from ancient times. They were considered fictional creatures, but they're not actually fictional, nor are they technically creatures. They are heteromorphic beings, and many of the deaths in London can be attributed to them. But most citizens in London don't know what dragons look like, or don't know they even exist. Only those who live in Reverse London can see them. In Reverse London, there was an agency called Wingbind that was in charge of protecting and managing the dragons, and there were 2 witches who belonged to Wingbind. You know what I think about all these dragons? How about Dragon D's Nut? Okay, we got our first pure slice of life with no other tags, which is Pon no Michi. This anime is set in Hiroshima Prefecture's Onomichi City, where high school student Nashiko Jipensha was kicked out of her house without a place to stay with her friends. She learns that the mahjong parlor that her father used to run is now vacant. She fixes the mahjong parlor and turns it into a place where her and her friends can have fun, cook, have tea, and sometimes play mahjong. I don't know if I'm gonna be the weird one for this, but this sounds actually pretty fun. I might give this one a few episodes. And it's an original, so usually originals are good, I think. Next up is Tis Time for Torture Princess, or Tis Time for Torture Princess. I think that's how you would read that. As a war between the Imperial Army and Hell Horde rages on, the princess, despite being armed with her mythical sword Excalibur, is captured and imprisoned. What kind of torture does she face at the hands of the chief demon interrogator? Fluffy, fresh baked toast, hot steaming ramen. Oh, the humanity. Can the princess withstand these tormenting treats and keep her kingdom's secrets safe? Yeah, this one seems kind of fun, I guess, but just not for me, I guess. Okay, the next one seems a little promising, which is Sengoku Yoko. Now, the reason I say that is because, first of all, this poster looks pretty cool, but second of all is that this is a 3-core series, which I literally can't think of another 3-core series that came out in recent times, but hopefully the synopsis is as promising. The world is divided into 2 factions, humans and monsters, called Katawara. Despite being a Katawara, Tama loves humans and vows to protect them from evil, even if it means fighting her own kind. Her brother, Jinka, however, hates humans, despite mostly being one. The siblings are joined by a cowardly swordsman named Shinsuke, who wants to learn how to become strong. When the group uncovers a plot to experiment on humans and transform them into monsters, they vow to defeat whoever's behind it, even if it means battling an entire army of warriors. This synopsis is written in a way, sort of like Solo Leveling, where it doesn't sound too unique or special, but usually the show is actually pretty decent, but we will never know because anime that come out nowadays are pretty bad. The next up is The Demon Prince of Momochi House. You Must Not Look at Me. On her 16th birthday, Himari suddenly receives a will and inherits the Momochi House. With the help of a map, she arrives at Momochi House, only to encounter a mysterious boy named Aoi, along with its residents, Yukari and Issei. It appears that the house was built into the space between the human world and the spiritual realm. On top of that, Aoi is a key figure at the house, also seems to be keeping a secret, and so marks the beginning of a Japanese-style demon fantasy. Okay, so this one is, I think, interesting, because usually fantasy shows that come out nowadays are kind of like a European style, and they use a lot of like European style names and architecture and that kind of stuff, and we don't see that many Japanese ones, or Japanese like styled ones, I guess. So that could be interesting. Maybe. I keep saying that for all of them because it's either a 50-50 chance of it being a masterful work or just being completely dog shit that no one will ever remember. Next one is Mr. Villain's Day Off. To heal his tired soul from working so hard every day, he goes to the zoo to see pandas and to the convenience store to get some ice cream. We get to see how a certain villain gets to completely enjoy his days off to the fullest in this comedy that will heal your soul. Another one that is actually sounding pretty decent. This reminds me a lot of Buddy Daddies. In that show, they were like assassins, and then they had another side where it was really wholesome and they had to take care of a kid. So this one could be similar to Buddy Daddies, and I really do hope it is because I need some anime to watch. Next up is Buchigiri, another original series, this time by Mappa, and I'm surprised it's this low down, because usually Mappa makes everything that's good. Arajin Tomoshibi's reunion with his old pal Matakara Asamine takes an unexpected turn when they stumble into a brawl with the toughest guys in town, and just when you thought things couldn't get weirder, A colossal genie decides to drop in. Brace yourself for the ultimate showdown. It's the clash of the cool and the magical. There's not really too much to say about this, to be honest. Like, I honestly can't think of any commentary to add. Like, this could be good, this could be bad, I don't know. Next up is Cherry Magic. 30 years of virginity can make you a wizard. This one's a BL, which I haven't seen many of in recent times, but let's see if this is good. It's complicated. A 30-year-old virgin gets more than he bargained for when his newfound magical power reveals that he's the object of his male co-worker's affections. Arachi, a 30-year-old virgin, discovers he has the magical power to read minds of people he touches. Unfortunately, the ability just makes him miserable since he doesn't know how to use it. And to make matters worse, when he accidentally reads the mind of his very competent, handsome colleague, Arachi discovers that the guy has a raging crush on none other than Arachi himself. Things are about to get very awkward. I could see how people could like this. I don't know, it doesn't really interest me too much. If there's not many that I want to watch this season, then I might watch this one, but it's probably not going to be good. Okay, we're coming up at almost our last ones. Next up is Delusional Monthly Magazine. Interesting name. The story takes place in the town of Most City in a certain country. On the second floor of an old building is a publishing company that puts out a periodical called Delusional Monthly Magazine, a science magazine featuring articles about shocking, bizarre events and inexplicable phenomenon that makes scientists throw up their hands in defeat. That's a short, nice, simple synopsis, but it doesn't really reveal too much what the story is about, so I can't really judge anything based off of this synopsis alone. Okay, this is almost our last one. Meiji Gekken, 1874. By 1874, 7 years have passed since the end of the samurai era. A former samurai, Shizuma Orikasa, works as a rickshaw driver in Tokyo while looking for his fiancée, Sumie Kanomata, who went missing during the Boshin War. Shizuma thwarts an assassination attempt and joins the newly established police department, where he'll fight to stop dark forces from overthrowing the government. Yeah, that really doesn't sound interesting at all. Maybe that's just a bad synopsis, I don't know. There's also like multiple versions of the synopsis, which I'm not too sure what that's about. Now, the last few ones don't have a synopsis on live chart. I don't know why that is. Like, these are all new anime, but they don't have a synopsis except for this one, Snack Basu. I don't know what that word is, but it does have one on Mao, which the other ones don't for some reason. Located 5 stations away from Hokkaido's largest downtown area, Susukino, a fun shop called Snack Bus can be found, run by Mama Basue and Mama Akemi. Filled with the laughter of the girls and their unusual regulars, you'll be smiling along with them before you know it. Yeah, I can see why this one is the lowest ranked one out of all the new anime. But now time for the section of the video where we see which ones I do want to watch. And this season really doesn't have that many. By the way, I haven't even finished last season's anime at all. I literally haven't even watched a single episode since like the end of November, which is when like they weren't even done airing, so I gotta catch up on those before I even start these ones. But which ones do I want to watch? So apparently Solo Leveling is good, so I'll watch it, and then I'm gonna watch these 4 that I said were good, or that they sounded good. Most likely, I'm gonna guess this one and this one I'm probably not gonna finish. And then this one sounded really fun, and I think this one. That was only what, like 6? Usually I have like over 20 that I want to watch, but this season is just pretty awful, to be honest. I think that's what I'll title the video. But anyways, that's the end of the video. Subscribe to the channel and like the video.